4 big apples in a line where wiggly friends have come to dine. 5 pink worms looking cute munch on their delicious fruit. Strong about the apple. They have worms. Come on, the apples. Yes, Baba. Yay. Nice. Yeah. Hello beautiful moms, my name is Buggz and welcome to Hearty Moments with Buggz, where we share tips and stories on millennial motherhood and we dip a bit into fashion and lifestyle. So if you are new here, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the Hearty gang. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for the support and please continue to do so and share my videos, like and comment. So let's get into the video. Today's video is about the pros and cons of hiring a nanny versus the pros and cons of taking your baby or your babies to daycare. Because we all know that this week was the reopening of schools for the first time this year. So I'm sure a lot of you have been having challenges in deciding whether to take your baby to daycare or whether to hire a nanny. So I am here to give you some information to help you decide between the two. Okay, so let's start with the pros of hiring a nanny. The first one, because I have 3 of each. So the first pro of hiring a nanny is more parental control. So I'm reading these on my diary, obviously, that's why I'm looking on the side. So the first one is more parental control. So this means that you have more control on what your baby gets, what your baby eats, on your baby's routine, and everything you want as a mother to happen to your baby. So you can tell your nanny, you want A, B, or C to be done to your baby. You want your baby to eat at certain times. You want your baby to dress like this. You want your baby to not dress like this. You want your baby to take meds at a certain time. You want your baby to do whatever you want. That is the first pro. And the second one is individual attention. So unlike daycare or preschool, at home your baby gets undivided attention from the nanny. It is good. It is a nice pro, but I don't really like that. Your baby will struggle without that nanny because obviously that person is not there forever. They have their own family. They have their own things to do. So in my opinion, it's not so good, but it is a pro if you want your baby to get undivided attention because we are not the same. We don't want the same things for our children. So yeah. And then the third one is convenience. Okay, this one is my favorite because I also have a nanny, and for this reason, that is why I have a nanny. For convenience, I don't have to worry about waking up, having to prepare food for the baby, to bath the baby, to prepare the baby, to take the baby and drop them off, or before dropping them off, have to pack things for the baby, and then you drop them off, and then you go to work, and then you come back from work. You obviously have other things to do. Maybe you need to start at the shop, or you are running late, or you will be running late to go fetch your baby because of things you'll be doing. It's so convenient having a nanny because you just wake up, you go to work, you come back, your baby's there at home with the nanny. You get home, you do whatever, like, especially if you have a stay-in nanny, I think it's very convenient. Okay, and yeah, you'll be able to go on dates, go out with your friends. You have freedom to do whatever you want, you know, but obviously not all the time because your nanny also needs a break and days off to go and do her own thing. She's also human. Let's not forget that. Okay, so now let's move on to the cons of hiring a nanny. Parenting style conflicts. So this is very common. I've experienced this. Well, it wasn't my nanny. It was my sister's nanny. She would tell my sister what to do. Like my sister would tell her that she wants A, B, or C done for her baby or to her baby, and she would be like, no, she was older. So I think this is common on the older nannies. She would go like, no, you can't do this. It's not good for the baby. This is not, you are young anyway, so I should know better. So you face those kind of challenges by having a nanny and an older one. She doesn't have to be older to do that, because even the young ones, they also do it because they have more experience than you. Obviously, they've been taking care of people's children, so in their minds they know more than you. They know what's best for babies than you, so that is a challenge. Okay, so the second one is having to manage an employee. So having to manage an employee is not an easy job, you can ask. This person will ask for an increase, they'll ask for day offs in the middle of the week. It is not an easy job to do, so it's a challenge, like it's a hard challenge. And then the third one is lateness or absenteeism of nannies. Guys, I'm sure you all know this. Nannies, they vanish, they go. Some even leave their clothes, like they'll go for a weekend and take a certain amount of clothes and leave the rest. And you'd have hope that, oh no, she's coming back because she left her clothes. Honey, she ain't coming. They leave their clothes, and they never contact you ever again, and you are stuck with your kids. You can't go to work. It's just a mess. Kwasemsebenzini, you become lo muntu or unreliable, because galoku wena vumbu exen we are phone, because people are expecting you obviously at work. We are phone now, go 8 guys, I can't make it to work. My nanny is not coming. I thought she'd arrive this morning. She was supposed to arrive on Sunday. Guys, it's so hard being a career mom. So yeah, those are the pros and cons of hiring a nanny. And then now we're moving on to the pros and cons of taking your baby to daycare. Let's start with the pros. The first one is independence. Your baby will be able to learn how to be independent if you send them to preschool or daycare, because there you are not around. The family, people they are familiar with are not around. They are surrounded by strangers. They're surrounded by new faces, new kids, like a whole bunch of kids that they are not so used to at home, and these adults that they don't know. So that gives them the courage to become independent. So that is a good thing. And then another thing is social and intellect skills. So if you send your baby to daycare, obviously they'll learn how to be social, because there are other babies and kids that they don't know, so they are able to learn how to be social in other environments. And the intellect skills, because obviously in daycare, the teachers, or should I say the caregivers, are obviously going to teach the kids, give them activities. So in the long run, it improves your baby's intellect. The third one is the stay-at-home parent needs a relief. So this is not something that happens in all households, but yes, in most cases, some parents do stay at home with their babies because they're not working. So you have mostly mothers. They stay at home with their babies. Obviously, you have to take care of your baby, but it is not so nice. It is nice to stay at home with your baby, and don't get me wrong, but every single day of your life, no honey, you deserve a break. So yeah, it is to relieve that person that is staying with the baby at home. You can take your baby to daycare. Like, they can miss a few days, but you can surely take your baby to daycare to give that parent a relief, or the relative. There could be a cousin that's staying at home that's taking care of your baby, but they also need to do some things, find themselves, so you can take your baby to daycare for those reasons. Okay, and so we are going to the cons of taking your baby to daycare. The cons, the cost of daycares. Guys, daycares are so expensive. I'm speaking from my perspective because I have twins, and they don't charge you like they say, no, it's a pair, so we're just gonna charge you for the price of one. No, I would say I went to one daycare. They said it's like 2.5 per baby. So I have 2 babies, and I have to bring lunch for them, and those other things that they want, tissue, soap, they want a whole lot of things. So I thought it was super expensive, and hiring a nanny is much cheaper. So I went for the nanny option. I couldn't. daycares are expensive, especially if you want to take your baby to a good daycare where they will learn new things and, you know, just a good daycare. I'm sure everyone wants to do that, but we can't afford it, unfortunately. Some of us, let me not say we can't, because some of you can, but for me personally, I couldn't afford 5,000 a month for daycare. And then there are still extra costs for aftercare. Obviously, I won't be able to fetch my baby at 12. No one will be able to do that because I'm at work. And then what? Because now I knock off at 4. So there's gonna be those costs for aftercare. Obviously, aftercare requires food, more food for the baby you must pack, you see. So I was like, I can't do this. Probably I'll be spending like 7,000 a month or something, you know. So I was like, no, hiring a nanny will be much cheaper and much more convenient, as I had mentioned. Like, I love it, it's a breeze. So the second one, the hours may not be convenient. This is so true because some daycares don't offer aftercare, but most daycares do, but some don't. And even if they do, sometimes you do extra things at work. You don't really knock off at 4, knock off at 5, 5:30, 6. You know, and some aftercares end at 5, and let's say you just got out of the office at 5, you got out of the office at 5:30. What are you going to do? So it's not so convenient in terms of the time and the hours for daycare. I don't know. It's not. Guys, I personally don't like daycare. I think my kids are going to start going to preschool daycare. I don't know what to call it when they are 3 years old. But for now, no, honey. They're still going to stay at home. And so the third one is the holiday hours. So now this one is very difficult. And when people advise me to take my kids to daycare, because nannies are always giving me a headache. You see? So they always advise me, no, take your kids to daycare, take your kids to daycare. You'll find cheaper ones. Yeah, obviously I'll find cheaper ones. But now, let's say it's Easter holidays. What am I going to do with the kids? I don't have family that's nearby that's going to take care of the kids. Like, I'm going to take umntana komzala. Yeah, but I don't have that kind of family around Durban because obviously I'm from the Eastern Cape. So there's not a lot of people that can do that for me. So now, let's say I'm working, because some of us work overtime. I'm working and the preschool daycare is closed. What am I going to do with the babies? So that is not so convenient. The last one, so there are 4 cons for daycare. So the last one is the child will be sick more often because, guys, abantwana daycare banins and they are exposed to germs. So they will obviously be sick more often because batibana nabanye abantwana abazigulela flu, chicken pox, you know, a whole lot of things. So by bakule abantwana abase daycare, so you have to have medical aid or a bit of money, as I had mentioned on my other videos, a bit of money on the side so you can take your baby to the doctor, because uzokula, I guarantee you that. So that is it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. You can just like and comment down below and tell me which one you would go for between hiring a nanny and taking your baby to daycare. Which one do you think is better for you? Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe, like this video, and share. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye.